Hello! How is everybody?
Oh, it's been so long.
I know.
It's been a minute.
We got in the groove and then our girls graduated.
They did. We survived it.
We did survive.
We made it.
Now we're tired.
A little bit.
But we always talk about how even if we wanted to go live,
oh yeah,
like we even tried to go live during the past 4 months, but we were so insanely busy. It couldn't happen. There was no, I've told you this too, like at College Park. So our girls go to sister high schools. One's the Woodlands College Park. And the Woodlands College Park, you don't have time to be upset that your child's graduating because there's so many activities.
I mean, from picnics to awards brunches to it was
so much.
It was every day.
Every day.
And you want to celebrate them.
Twice a week at least. You do want to celebrate them. It only happens once.
But they're all big events.
And then my husband's like, doesn't everyone graduate high school? I'm like, well, maybe not. He's like, why is it such a big deal?
You know, we have a neighbor. He is a professor at Tulane.
Oh.
And we were walking dogs because...
And he lives here?
He does.
Does it do all virtual?
Virtual, and then he'll go there in person every once in a while.
Oh.
It's kind of cool. But his dog Amy is Sully's girlfriend. Anyways,
okay.
When they're in town, we see each other. But he had a really good point. He's like, I've experienced a lot of graduations, right? He's like, but high school, that's the big trajectory to
adulthood.
Yeah, exactly.
Who you're becoming.
Right.
Deciding where you're going to college, deciding what you're going to major in.
It's big.
Yeah, it is. It is really big. So anyway.
Now that we've lived it, we can relate.
And we can get ready for our second children.
That's going to be a whole different...
I've got 3 more years. You have 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it made me realize Kinsey may graduate college before Gavin graduates high school.
I'm a little worried.
Everyone's timing's different, but we'll see. Kind of crazy.
It is crazy. I think Ellington is going to probably graduate high school the same year Campbell graduates college. Double whammy. Anyway.
One day at a time.
One day at a time.
Yeah.
Who's here?
One event at a time.
Oh, Fran.
Hey,
Hi,
Fran.
howdy gals. Long time no hear. No, gosh, we weren't even on. Like, I mainly do social media.
Yeah, I struggle.
But I totally took a break from that too. I just didn't. I'm frantic. I'm eating another Chick-fil-A sandwich. I haven't eaten today. Don't be me.
Don't be me.
Yeah, don't be me. And I'm like, what am I really doing here? So yeah, we took a break, but we're back and we're coming back with a bang because our app will be ready for the next shred. It's actually ready. I'm working with Kajabi to get ownership transferred to us. So you literally will have everything in the palm of your hand that you need. You won't have to log into a computer.
You're so tech savvy. It's amazing.
I don't know about that. It will be easy for you to watch videos from there. There's so many things now that it's a podcast that we can do. Or not a podcast, an app. Yeah. Like doing a private podcast inside the app.
Cool.
So we're still in summer. I've taken my vacations. Amy's got a really big one coming up in July.
Yes.
Yeah. But other than that, we're pretty much kind of wrapped up. And we'll kick off our next summer shred, which we know is the least popular. It always is. Don't blame you. But practice week will start July 1st. So if you have big July 4th celebrations, it's practice week, no big deal. But what we've heard from a lot of people is they love that we have if you're a repeat shredder, you can do the macros only for $99 because it's a great way to stay accountable. And, if you're a previous shredder, you have lifetime access to the program,
right? To
the academy. So you'll download the app and you'll have everything there. I need to work this summer on updating a few things, so we're working on that. I wanted you to tell them your experience with your blood work with Designs for Health supplements.
Oh, this is interesting.
Yes.
I kind of touched on it. Well, I think the last
time you hadn't had your blood work back to confirm.
Oh, I hadn't. Mm-mm. Oh, but she started me based on my October blood work.
Yes.
That's right. Okay. All right. If I start to ramble, stop me. So I had blood work done in March. I'm pretty sure that was March. Mm-hmm. That seems like a really long time ago. And when I got it back, she's like, you have 5 reasons you are tired. I don't know if I knew all 5.
Thyroid?
The last time we talked.
Hormones.
She said my thyroid was on the edge at that point in time, testosterone low, like none, progesterone low, my B12 and my D low, which I've supplemented those since I had Gavin. 13 years with Shackley, which is a great brand, tested all that good stuff, but I don't know why my B12 and my D were low. So at that point in time, we had just
gotten our account with Designs for Health.
And so I was switching over anyways. It was a beautiful, I mean, looking back, the timing was perfect. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do these things to try to get my B12 up and my D. To me, I'm like, supplement all the way, right? Like,
Yeah.
if those two things can boost my energy 2/5 of the way, let's do it. I did the testosterone pellet and I started progesterone at night before bed. That one's supposed to help with your sleep. So is the testosterone, really. I've learned so much about those two hormones. So I go back for blood work, and my D and my B12 were improving already, which was exciting.
Which you were shocked about.
I was, because
Shackley is a very good brand.
all I did was switch to Designs for Health. So
Yeah.
super happy about that. I'm doing the 2-pack a day for women.
So that's what I was going to talk about. So
Okay.
everyone, in my opinion, like from her blood results, talking to our rep, learning more about Designs for Health, everyone 35 and older, every woman 35 to death should be on those twice daily women's packets, in my opinion. It has every single thing that we talk about in the Shred Guide. And in fact, I need to rewrite the Shred Guide because we now have the Designs for Health account and have such
more specific
access to such quality doctor grade
it's
supplements.
Quickly improved for me, and I'm just really impressed with it.
Yeah.
Really impressed
That's
with
big for you.
It is big.
Yeah.
And I have now learned that as I'm helping my D and my B12 and my progesterone and my testosterone, my thyroid, which was just trying to really work, it stopped. Like I'm on thyroid medicine now.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where like my mom was always on it. That's just something, that's the only thing she takes, and that and supplements, which she has switched to this Designs for Health.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, my grandma always took thyroid too. And then I learned like my uncle takes it. Like everyone on that side of the family, like my aunt, like all of them, I'm like, huh. I never thought to look into that for me. So, a few years ago when you were like, hey, you should check into your hormones.
Yes. You should go see Michelle.
Yeah. Really glad
Things
I
change
did.
the older we get.
They do. So really glad I did.
But the Designs for Health
So
women's
happy about
packets
them.
have been out.
Yes, but they're back in. They're back in stock.
No, Michelle was talking about the sports ones for her son.
Oh.
I just confirmed with Christy it's going to be till July 11th.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's basically the Omega that's giving it.
Slow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Hey, Amy, did Designs for Health help with your testosterone and thyroid? No, you have to see a doctor for that.
Correct.
You need a prescription for testosterone and thyroid
Yes.
meds.
It helped with my B12 and my D.
Right. And it probably helped with, well, it's got the FemGuard in there. So
It does have FemGuard. It has the DEM. It helps with, it's specifically for women.
yeah.
Yes. But I did the pellet for testosterone and the compound progesterone for evening.
Yeah. So, but Fran, the FemGuard might be really good for you. It is natural. It does help with hormones naturally and very high end.
Very high end, to where I'm going to share this. My mom actually switched with me, right? And was getting headaches. And we learned that even though the ingredients are similar to what we were taking for years, the quality is so much better that it was detoxing my mom a little quickly for her. So she was getting a headache from it. So there's 2 and 2, and she kind of decreased to just 1 and then increased to 2. And she's not having any issues now, slowly increasing
it.
that specific DIM.
Well, I think people get confused. They're like, well, detoxing what? Detoxing estrogen, but don't I want estrogen because it's declining? Well, you want a bioidentical estrogen, but you don't want the extra estrogens that like plastic bottles give
the leaching
you
from the environment.
Straws, yeah, from the environment. So that is the kind of estrogen that the FemGuard is helping
The
detox.
toxicity. Correct.
Yeah, detox. So I'm so proud of her for making that switch
Me
and seeing a
too.
difference.
And her headaches it was pretty bad
Pretty
for
intense.
a few days. And we're trying to figure out, like, what did she change? And, is it allergies? And trying to figure all that out. And once we realized it was the vitamins, and then she stopped, or she decreased and then slowly added, I was like, you can go back to the old vitamins. She's like, but I want the quality. I'm like, all right. She sees
that
She
it
sees
is higher end.
Like,
It was
you
just,
want that detox.
yeah, it was just, and so many people have gotten on it, and we are so lucky to have our own store.
Yeah.
And because we were able to get our own store that we had to qualify for and jump through hoops for, we can actually give Mastermind Macro clients a discount, which you can't get from anyone else. Like, you can't go to the Designs for Health website and use our discount. You have to go to our Designs for Health store, Mastermind Macro store, to use our discount. But they're incredible. It's a huge bonus that we were able to do that.
I've lived it. I've seen it. I'm impressed.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. So other than that, we are back. Amy's
Yes.
going out of town for a short little trip.
It's quick.
Yeah. So we won't go live next week. And, we didn't go live at all or send emails the last shred. But we'll probably go live every other week in the summer shred. I will be sending emails. I'm usually in charge of the emails. So I will be sending those and staying in touch with you guys.
We're always available through text.
Yeah, so like on the last shred, if you read the email that we pushed out, like
Yeah.
we worked with all of our shredders one-on-one via text message, so no one fell through the cracks whatsoever. We just weren't. We know so many of you past shredders love to hear from us, love to see me really on social media helping
Right.
you stay accountable. I'm getting my steps in, or I found a new recipe. So it's really why I started social media during
Yeah.
COVID, and people would reach out to me, even if it was just one person, like, oh man, Heather, you went on your run today, got me off the couch, so I went on a run. So we just needed a break because it was a lot with the kids graduating. So so we'll kick off July 1st. So some of you are wrapping up your previous shred. I got like 3 emails, in the last 4 days that I will wrap up today for maintenance macros until you go into the next shred. So we should be wrapping up any of our annual shredders. Well, we did do a big Black Friday special, so some of you, this will be your 3rd of 4 shreds. Oh no, this will be, third. Yeah, 3rd. But since we don't have the annual program anymore, don't forget, we grandfathered all of you into the annual program, so it's still there. Since we streamlined as we want to grow, now we just have, you can either do the full Monty, and then after full Monty, you can go to the 99 macros only.
If you're on the fence, you're not sure if you want to do it or not. I mean, summer is the least
Desirable time.
Well, travel and just different schedules, and but a lot of people, you're one of them, you like the flexibility of,
I do.
of having a different schedule in the summer. So if you're on the fence, I believe we're on the same page. To vote, go for it, try it, because we've had so many during this past shred that we're so thankful they did it. And they weren't perfect, but they traveled, or they went on a cruise, or they did hiking or races, but they were able to focus and have some sort of educated background on deciding what they're doing. Like, I talked to a shredder this morning, and she just got back from traveling. She's like, 1 pound. I'm up 1 pound. She's like, and I kept my walking. I tried to stay active. I'm really trying to preserve my muscle. I focused on protein. That's it. Did I stay on my calories? I'm not quite sure. She's like, but I'm up 1 pound.
Yeah.
It's just having that educated information and just being
having strategies to be able to make it sustainable, right? We're teaching you strategies. You may not make them habits, right?
Right.
In the summer, but you have the strategies and the knowledge of how to keep it within rein and not be a yo-yo dieter, because the things we promote are not gimmicky. They're how you should be living your life every day.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, I love that we got text messages about clients learning about themselves. It was their first time shredding in the spring into summer shred, learning about themselves, learning it doesn't have to be exact. It will still work if you just apply the principles to your daily life, and learning how to be more flexible and not so rigid.
Yeah, have some flexibility. And the same client I talked to this morning, she was like, I'm up 1 pound, and it might not be, perfect muscle, perfect fat, perfect all that good stuff. She's like, but I'm ready to dive back in. I've got 3 weeks at home before we travel again. She's like, so I'm gonna rein it in, and we know your body bounces back quicker.
So much faster. Yeah.
So in the next 3 weeks, she's gonna, be more on her specific tracking schedule, and then she'll travel again, and again try to stay within reason.
And we had one client kind of panicking about vacation. Right. What should I do? And of course, we said refer to the Shrek guide. We have tips and tricks, but we explained to her, what we do is we focus on hydrating, focus on steps, focus on protein, and I try to focus on fiber as well. But
sleep.
We told her, don't worry about how fat and carbs split.
Right.
Don't track macros. You've trained yourself to know what a decent amount of protein is. And I think us giving her permission was like, she was like, thank you so much for that.
Yeah, it took the stress out.
Here's another good one.
Okay.
Got a text message from a repeat shredder. I think she's on her 3rd, maybe 4th, really successful shredder, showing us a post from someone that lives in her town that's a nutritionist or a nutrition company saying, don't overeat protein. And she's like, gosh, people post this stuff and it's confusing and it's stressing me out. I'm trying not to let it stress me out. And I replied and I said, just a few reminders here. First of all, the latest trend in the diet fads is the carnivore diet, where people are truly eating like meat and that's it. Barely any vegetables, barely any other fruit, anything. They're just eating meat. It's called the carnivore diet. So I think that's where this nutritionist in this person's town, city, was trying to say like, hey, we need all the macros, which is what we do, right? We need all the macros. And I replied to her, so there's that, number 1. Number 2, your protein is not excessive. It's typically your ideal body weight, what we set your macro, your protein macro out, somewhere around your ideal body weight. And then carbs and fat are everything else. So you're not excessive. Typically that protein that we give you for just 6 weeks, by the way, is maybe at that 35%, sometimes 40, but it's only for those 6 weeks, right? And then we back off into maintenance macros where we back it down to 30%. So that leaves another whole 60%, 70% to carbs and fat.
Right.
Okay. So that was number 2. She's like, okay, you're right. That makes me feel better. It's just so much more protein than y'all are used to eating. It's not excessive.
When I used to only eat 20.
Right.
And now I'm at least 100.
Right. I naturally can eat 100 grams of protein. I can naturally do that in a day. That's easy for me. But to get to 125 or 130, I have to make a little extra push. Yeah. And, I was talking to Michelle, our doctor, about this as I've kind of kept the last 5 pounds off for over a year now. I'm really proud of myself, and I will fluctuate. But I was like, I get 100 grams of protein every day. She's like, that's really not enough. I was like, I know. I need to get my ideal body weight, because as we get older, we talk about this. We need more protein for protein synthesis to signal our body to maintain/build muscle. So reminded her of that. And then the last one, when you are shredding, you're in a deficit of calories. So you cannot, no matter what macro it is, if you're not eating, if you ate all fat, all carbs, or all protein, it's not harmful to your body because you're not eating it in excess calories, right? Your body needs nutrients, and as long as you aren't going over what you need in a day, your body's using everything you give it. So just like when people are like, you can only process so much protein in a day, go look up Dr. Lane Norton on his YouTube channel, who is a PhD in protein. Right. Him and Dr. Gabrielle Lyon, PhDs in protein. And Dr. Gabrielle Lyon is an MD on top of that. So actually, I don't think she's a PhD. She's an MD, and Lane Norton is the PhD. But no, your body uses all the nutrients, especially if you're eating in a deficit. Even at maintenance, your body needs every calorie you give it. It's using all of it. So it's not until if you're in an excess of any of those macros can it be harmful. I don't even want to say harmful, but you'll store it as fat, because that's what
that was her main concern, if you have too much protein,
it's going to turn it. She said, the post said, just a reminder, protein can turn into fat too. Absolutely it can if you're eating it in excess of calories that you need a day.
correct.
So she was like, oh yeah, that makes total sense. So
I was glad she asked.
I was glad she asked to. And sometimes, especially because we weren't live and we weren't sending emails, y'all need those reminders of how your macros are built and how you're just fine, you're in a deficit. And even when you're in maintenance, I'm pretty modest. I mean, I know you guys are going to go rogue. So typically I put you under by 5% because I know you're going to go over by 10%. So then you're only over by 5%, if that makes any sense, which I want you to be anyway. Like that's when we focus on building some muscle, which by the way, I had a shredder who's shredded with us several times come today. And she fought me on, I just like more fats than I get. I'm like, you need the protein. She,
My fan.
yeah.
I like fats.
But she hasn't recognized over time to swap a little bit of fat for protein, and she's lifting, especially since Define. We're finally getting her muscle mass to increase.
That's awesome.
I was so excited. I was like, give me a high five because I'm team muscle, right? I'm like, if I can get muscle on you, then I have done my job. The muscle is what makes you healthy. And longevity. Muscle is the organ of longevity.
Taught us that it's tied to your immune system.
It is.
Who doesn't want to improve that with all the crazy?
Yeah. I don't recommend Dr. Gabrielle Lyon's book. She gives all the information in the book and podcasts. You can find her on YouTube. I've been in several private groups of hers. I'm probably going to take her course. I've done Dr. Lane Norton's. I probably will do her course when it's ready. But she's so good. If you will listen to any of her talks or any of her podcasts, explaining just how important muscle is. She's the one that really has come out with the tagline, we aren't over fat, we're under muscled. And if we would focus on the muscle, like some of you are obsessed with the last 5 pounds. I'm like, you want to be like a guy the other day, he's like, I want to be 200 pounds. I'm like, do you want to be 200 pounds and 30% fat? Or do you want to be 210 pounds and 15% fat? He's like, oh, I see what you're saying. Laughing. But I'm like, yeah, like, we are under muscled. And a lot of times those last 5 pounds, instead of depriving ourselves of more food, we'll eat at maintenance or a little bit of a surplus and lift heavier and get that muscle on us. Then the next time we shred, you're going to see exactly what you want to see, anyway. Michelle, I may have missed what you call the packets. All the pills are in this that you recommend for women over 35. They are. It is the women's twice daily multi-packets. I know we use all of our devices here because we have one for YouTube, one for Facebook. Here, I can look it up on my computer real quick.
You sure?
We've been a little frustrated because the packets are so convenient and they've been out for 3 months.
Yeah.
So we do have an extra coupon code. We can build your cart because we have so many clients on them where we have an extra discount. So we are 15%. This gives you an extra 10 and you have to get the individual bottles and make kind of like your own packets.
Which is fine if you got the little pill holder, you just
put them in. And then I recommended, I showed my mom, I was like, if you don't have a pill holder, the little Jello shot containers with the lid, that works well. I was like, Jello shot.
Just snacks, Ziploc bags. Yeah. It all works.
Women's twice daily essential packets.
I should be able to remember that because they are essential.
It's got the magnesium, the omega, the FemGuard, which is DIM, and other stuff on steroids. There's even a FemGuard for women that are suffering from hot flashes. It is different from the regular FemGuard. So if you're suffering from hot flashes, let us know. We can direct you which FemGuard's right for you. So it's the magnesium, omega, FemGuard. Am I missing one? There's one more.
The multi?
And the multivitamin, yeah. Oh, OsteoForce. That's it.
Right.
So there's a specific...
it's got everything in there for, your joints and your bone health.
The OsteoForce is amazing because every woman, if you're not lifting, can have bone density issues. So hopefully most of you, and maybe y'all caught it, maybe you didn't, but before it got popular by Dr. Mary Claire and Chalene Johnson, I told you guys, if you just like to walk and don't lift, then add a weighted vest for your walk because that helps with bone density. I will probably never walk with one. I don't need it. I'm lifting, I'm doing Pure Bar,
Yeah.
working on my core every day. But the OsteoForce is a unique blend of highly absorbable vitamins and minerals formulated to support healthy bones. So basically, calcium and magnesium are the main ones, but there's some other stuff in there as well. So you can't beat those packets. It's like everything you need in one place.
I've also seen, because I wear the Oura Ring, my sleep quality.
Since hormone therapy.
Progesterone, but even like I wasn't specifically taking magnesium, like
Oh.
just the combo of the progesterone at night, the testosterone all the time because it's in the pellet, but then the vitamins, the quality of my sleep
has gotten so much better.
So much better.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm getting like 80, 82. I was not getting that high. I was in the 60s, you guys.
Y'all.
Quality. And I could sleep. I could lay down. I could sleep.
And she was like,
and I could sleep
all
all
night.
night.
Took me 2 years to listen to you, Heather.
But it was not quality. It was not getting
in your defense, you were so tired. Like, there wasn't even time for you to go to the doctor. You're like, I need to take a nap. Or, like, you were just trying to get everything done with a...
Long blinks at the stoplights. Those were scary. Like, I was too tired.
And your whole family has noticed your pep and energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, let's see. Let me go back to Facebook. Make sure there's not any other questions as we wrap this up. Packets, we love seeing you. Okay, thanks. You did that for me for Owen, and it worked out fine. Oh, perfect. Yeah. So Michelle's son, I think I'm gonna put Ellie on them. They're kind of the sports focused line.
Okay.
And so the packet of everything that an athletic child would need, because they have some differences. But their packets are back in. What I learned too is that the Designs for Health DIM is better quality than almost any DIM out there because of its bioavailability, its absorption rate. So that was really cool too. Yeah.
Hence the better release of toxins for all of us.
For all of us
taking it, but
yeah.
My mom noticed it the most.
Yeah. And I've switched my whole family to their probiotic. I take the women's probiotic, yeah. And to me, it's just as good, if not better, than Seed. Like, I loved Seed. I was a big proponent of it. And we finished our Seed, but it's like my body hasn't skipped a beat switching to this probiotic.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. Some other really awesome things coming to Designs for Health as well. Yeah, Fran, I'll put the link for you in that reply in just 1 second, but they are releasing a probiotic that helps produce GL1P naturally. So semaglutide is a GLP-1 receptor, okay? But they have figured out in a probiotic how to increase it naturally.
Wow, through your gut health.
Through your gut health.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that peptide specifically decreases as we age, just like collagen does and we get wrinkles, right? So does GL1P, which helps you feel full, right? Which reduces your appetite. So especially during perimenopause is when you might need help with the GLP-1 receptor. And y'all know my view on those, and you can watch our YouTube videos, just a tool in your belt. But if you could take it in a probiotic, why not?
Yeah.
Halle Berry is the only one, and she's gone to Congress talking about perimenopause and women's health and menopause, and she started a line for women specifically to help with perimenopause and menopause. There's several of those kind of companies, but she's the only one with a probiotic that helps with the GL1P. And our rep came to me and said, we're working on a probiotic that's going to help with GL1P. And I was like, oh, is it going to be like this one? Send it to her. She sent it to their lab. I was like, yes, it's going to be just like that.
Awesome.
So I will say with Designs for Health, like everything is third-party tested. Everything is as organic as possible. So, it takes a little bit more time for them to develop products than maybe others. Plus they have like over 300. So that's coming soon. And then she was talking about the appetite suppressant.
Oh, yeah. I can't think of what it's called either.
Either can I. She said they reformulated it. So if anyone is truly dealing with like a ghrelin leptin issue, those are your hunger hormones, like ghrelin, your stomach growls, think of it that way. That's the hormone that's like, I'm hungry. this can help naturally balance that.
Yes.
So they're reformulating that. And she's like, between that and the new probiotic, it is like that bang bang to help perimenopausal women who are carrying that extra,
That's awesome.
you know, fat because their insulin resistance around their midsection to get that off. So that's coming in the works. We will, of course, be talking. Oh, I love mushroom coffee. I've been drinking it for a decade. Remember, I used to travel with the packets.
Yep.
I love mushrooms, Fran. Like, not the ones you find on cow poo. What are those?
The shrooms
Shrooms,
or whatever
not
back in the
shrooms.
day.
But like
Not
res
the psychedelic
no
ones.
RELSHI, those kinds. They're great. Those have the I want to say medicinal, but the ones you see out there on the market, like mushroom coffee, I think they're great. I think there's a lot of research behind.
There's just been an increase in ads lately. I've seen a
Oh,
lot more.
really?
Oh, yeah. At least in my
you know who's
social
promoting
media.
one recently is Flav City. His stuff is good. He's more of a keto lifestyle, but his stuff is expensive because it's high quality, and he's been promoting a new, I think it's a mushroom coffee, but it is very good. Let's see. I'm going to send you the link. Anything else? You have anything else?
No, that's really it. If you're on the fence, I say try it. You agree. Try it and start tracking with, MyFitnessPal and just educate yourself.
Here it is.
Find the link.
Copied. Yeah. All right, Fran, here it comes.
You're so speedy. Thank you for joining us
Oops.
today.
And I'll put the link when we get it up on YouTube. I'll put it there too. Hold on.
Why not paste?
I know.
That was weird.
There it is. Paste. There it is. So, oh yeah, designsforhealth.com. Then there's a weird U, mastermindmacros.com. So you have to use our link, discount code. When I say our link, you have to use our store, our dispensary, basically. And then the code is MMM15, and that will get you 15% off your entire order, Fran. Yeah.
You're interested in the
I was going to do a whole
Women's
email
health.
series on perimenopause and menopause, because if
Okay.
you're in an annual program, you have Mastermind Menopause. But if you're newer, we don't have Mastermind Menopause in that. So I was going to start a whole series on that and promote the twice daily packets. But they're out until July 11th.
Yeah.
And it's been almost 3 months. And I didn't want to be like, okay, you can do these 4 bottles and extra 10%. So we just put that on hold. But when you can order them again in the convenient packets,
Yeah.
then we'll start the series on perimenopause and menopause and all that good stuff. But honestly, not to toot my own horn, my Mastermind Macros book is so good that I'm not really learning anything new from doctors who are now talking about it on social media.
I am glad that people are talking about it more.
Oh yeah, and more doctors need to talk about it.
I mean, we have been, clearly.
Right.
But
we have
even-
a very small audience
Yeah.
compared to some of these MDs
But
on
more
social
people are
media.
talking about it. I'm thankful. I was able to meet Steve on a trip recently to the Bahamas, and I met a woman, and she was asking me just really specific questions. She's like, if you don't mind, can I ask you about this? And I mean, it just gave me a whole bigger appreciation for our healthcare system.
Yeah.
She's like, I just finally, she's got the belly gain, right?
Where's she from?
She lives in the Bahamas.
Oh, she lives there.
Like, she lives there. She's like, she's like, for months I've been trying to get blood work done. I just got my blood work done. They send it off. I have to wait 3 weeks to get results. And I just felt for her because I know how good I felt quickly switching my vitamins and just making those quick changes. And I just
Our
felt for
healthcare
her.
system in America is messed up. There's no doubt about it. Like, I just basically had skin cancer taken off my arm. He's like, if it was on your face, insurance would cover a lot more. But if it's on your body, they don't cover it as much. It's like, what?
That doesn't make sense.
$700 and I have pretty good insurance for something that,
You need to get taken off.
or it turns into melanoma.
Right.
It's like, which is the
No-brainer.
deadliest cancer? Like,
Right.
so insurance is not going to cover that more? It makes no sense to me. So the doctor and I were talking about that. But even though it's effed up, we can get instant access to healthcare. You
Yeah.
might have to pay for it, but that's why there's black markets, right? People coming from Canada or other countries because they're having to wait 6 months to get a cancerous tumor removed. So they, I don't want to say black market, but they come over here. So there's brokers
Right.
who bring them over here. But then you have to have a lot of money to do that.
Yeah, I felt for her.
So it's definitely like trying to find the good in our messed up medical system. The good is we can get instant access if we need it. Yeah, 3 weeks for blood work.
I know. She's like, what should I do? I was like,
Fly to Florida and
that's what she said. She's gonna fly to Florida, but I was like, in the meantime,
yeah, oh good.
try for 10,000 steps a day. Try to track 100 grams of protein. Like, I was like, all these things are gonna help. None of it's gonna hurt. So I was just trying to help her. Try to get sleep.
For sure.
Yeah.
We're so glad that those of you that joined us live did. We never expect any of y'all to really join us live. We know y'all have lots of things to do, vacations, summers. Half the time we go on when everyone's at work.
Right.
Yeah, so it's just what works for us. So that's why we started the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, all good things. So we'll be sending emails out probably every other day. We sent our first one out yesterday, just kind of a catch up. Our girls have graduated. We're back. We'll be live. We'll be on social media. We survived. But yeah, so next Red July 1st is when it kicks off. Just email us. I was on vacation for 2 weeks after graduation, so it was really hard for me to get to y'all's emails. So thank you again for being patient with that. But I'm back, ready to roll, getting to all the emails, and we're ready to go.
We're excited.
Yeah, we love you.
We mean it.
Mwah.